back into it because that phone was off.
Is everyone gonna be here tomorrow that you know of, or?
No, Steve and Barbara are excused for their vacation, and Michelle's gonna be virtual.
Okay.
So we have to work out a system that, because we're not gonna be able to do the day of notice. It's not gonna work because we don't have a forum
Yeah.
in person and everybody's, so we'll have to figure out a system.
Oh, it's only. Oh, you mean for committee meetings, right? Everything that's.
For even committee meetings, because you can participate remotely, but if there isn't a forum in person, then you need to publicly state where you're going to be.
Mhm.
And that has to happen 72 hours in advance. So we can't just.
Yes, that is. I mean, maybe Andrea, see where in our calendar.
Well, that.
We're in the right.
Oh, yeah.
We're gonna try to do this July, August, September, things are, the normal, so everybody's on vacation.
Right.
You say, tell me what days.
No, we walk, we're gonna write down.
Yeah, I was saying,
You guys go first.
Yeah, so they know, in case ahead of time that we have to put a notice in, we're not having a or something like
The only thing is, I mean, unless something, if you do advance notice, what you said, 3 days notice, you mean?
Yeah, the law says that you need to post your location when the meeting is posted. And the meeting needs to be posted 72 hours in advance. Because if you're taking the meeting from home,
that. Your vote doesn't count.
your vote can count if it's the location.
Oh, we tell you where your.
Or your vote counts if there's an in-person quorum. So
Oh,
there's
Right,
a.
okay. So as long as we have a quorum,
As long as you have an in-person quorum.
your vote will count, and you don't have to say where you are.
So just basically, and what I told Barbara today is like, we want to aim to get a quorum, in-person quorum in every meeting.
Well, so that will be that's the rule, that there must be a quorum.
yeah, that's why I
And
say
no,
like,
there's gotta be a quorum, or we don't, or you can't.
You can't do a last minute thing.
Right.
right, that's why I said we send out a calendar.
I mean, it's, there's like an emergency for somebody, then,
Yeah,
you can't help
at
it.
least you know in advance if there's some conflict or, before it gets cold there, people are like, oh, yeah, I'm on vacation, I'm ready to tell you.
So, yeah, I was.
I'm in Italy.
It was great, it was great. I just recommended everybody do it once. It's a lot of plane riding, I tell you that.
Were you on a tour that was arranged, or did you just all the arrangements?
No. Family, friends, it's been in the process for 3 years prior to COVID, so we finally got it going. It was 19 of us. Yeah, and,
So do we have anybody on that?
That's why I'm just texting these, because we're expecting Carl, Michelle, and I think Barbara. And Steve's not coming.
Steve didn't say anything, he didn't answer. Oh, you're saying he's not coming?
I know he's not,
No,
he's
he's-
excused from tomorrow. I think
Oh, okay.
that's just-
Okay.
on vacation. So how is that?
What's the date of laws and rules?
On the 20th.
The
I
20th.
think I'm old.
It should be,
I need somebody to stay there for me.
it should be fairly easy.
I want to see a little bit on the agenda.
There's two, and one of them is just scheduling a public hearing. And then the other, LSC for determination.
Yeah, next Wednesday.
The two.
I think, I'm away on the 20th.
Mhm.
So someone have to check.
Yeah, just has to see if he's on the committee. Franny.
Sure.
What? Oh, I could do it.
Could you do it for me,
You're
please?
so nice to volunteer.
Appreciate that, Mr. Committee.
So,
Joe? I forgot. Oh, Ken, you could tell I was a downtime. No meetings for a couple of weeks. I'm loving it.
Sorry, into the group.
Yes, I switched bags.
City, Rome was a dirty city. Switch on the first 3.
It was recent.
It was goes to. And they rotate, heat speed, coach and,
Carl.
There's Carl.
Alright, I know Barbara's on vacation, I just texted her to see if she was joining us while she's away, so I haven't heard back.
Okay.
So, we,
Good.
I know Barbara, Corp Council Barbara's coming too, but I want to start.
Yeah, we can start, we're all join in. All right, good evening, everyone. This is our Kingston Common Caucus meeting. In person, we have Alderman.
We're phoning in.
Yeah.
We're here.
We're all here. We're all here.
present.
All right, well, present, except for Barbara. All right, so everyone has their resolution list. All right, so let's get started. Resolution 124. This is requesting, and a lot of these are from finance, so you guys jump in if you think we need to have an explanation of what this is. Resolution 124 requesting a 2022 budget transfer in the building safety and zoning department, amount of $6,379.17 to cover unexpected department retirements. That's pretty simple, right? So explanatory. Resolution 125 requesting that the John Tui contract be renewed according to the same terms as the current contract for the period of June 7, 2023 through June 6, 2029, as per the attached employment agreement. You want to talk about that, or did you see the agreement?
Okay.
You guys saw the agreement, right?
Yeah. He is our captain through stormy financial waters. And I would not want to monkey with the leadership that we have provided.
Okay. Resolution 126, requesting a 2022 budget transfer in the city clerk's office from contingency in the amount of $4,794 to cover the expense of microphone repairs and chambers. Yes.
I don't have anything to say about this, except that they are repaired, so we should be good to go for tomorrow.
Good. I was already asking,
Got
when
the
do they
city
be repaired?
this morning, forgotten, so I thought this would be a good time to jump in. So
Good.
we should be good, and the rumor has it that the equipment too is not too far.
Great.
Jesus.
Great. All right, resolution 127, authorizing the mayor to accept recreational trails program grant funds in the amount of $250,000 from the New York State Office of Parks, Recreation, and Historic Preservation for Kingston Point Trail Phase 2 project, and to execute any and all related documents.
So a couple things on this one.
Yeah, that's what it is.
So this is to finish the second phase of the Kingston Point Rail Trail. It's going to connect phase 1 and phase 3. So this is the part we looked at before, those of you who've been on the council for a while. The one that connects from Rondout, it's going to go back behind the trolley museum.
Okay.
Connect up.
Oh, that's that section.
That's that, right? Yeah. And it's going to provide for $250,000 the cost. It requires a 10% match. So the effective cost to us is probably going to be around $62,500, although there's not a specific financial impact listed because, we have to get the bid.
And this is phase 2, so I thought I heard you say there's a phase 3, there's another.
Yeah, so phase 1 and phase 3, I think, right now.
Oh, okay,
Combine the, connect the two.
It's going to connect the two.
okay. Any questions on that? You guys good? Our virtual attendees? All right. 128, authorizing the mayor to expend funds in the first instance for the city of Kingston's downtown revitalization initiative, that's the DRI grant. Number 201-80136 from the New York State Office of Homes and Community Renewal for the DRI Stockade Business District Small Grants Program.
What's this incorporating, right?
So this will offer grants, Stockade area businesses
Okay.
through micro enterprise, looking at business facade improvement. There could be money for residential rehabilitation improvements. And the amount being available is up to $600,000, and this has zero financial impact. Because it's, so those of you who may not been here, the DRI is $10 million the city won from the state a number of years ago. And this is one of the programs in our.
So small businesses will apply for these monies?
Any small business or is this?
Any small business that's in the Stockade district.
Resolution 129, approving the MOA between the City of Kingston and the Kingston PBA Union covering the period January 1, 2020 to December 30, 2025.
So one of the keys to this one is that it's a 6-year deal. Of course, it goes back a couple of years to cover since there's been negotiations and I think arbitration. The total cost of the entire contract is about $6.3 million and about $1.2 million in next year's budget, with about $500,000 already accounted for in contingency and an increase of about $700,000 in next year's budget.
Thank you. All right, resolution 130, requesting a 2022 budget transfer for the DRI Stockade Business District Small Grants Program funds in the amount of $600,000. So that was related to the previous one. Okay. Resolution 131, authorizing the mayor to expend funds in the first instance for the City of Kingston CDBG CV grant number 599 CVPS 71-22 in the amount of $321,000, $34 from the New York State Office of Homes and Community Renewal for Mobile Mental Health Co-Response Team Pilot Program, and to execute any and all related documents. So this actually was in finance. This had, that's what I'm asking because of the CDBG monies.
I know that it says that, but I think it's because it's through the New York State Office of Homes and Community Renewal. That's why there was a problem, because it wasn't a CDBG
Okay.
direct.
Okay.
So this is to help develop the City of Kingston's own mobile mental health team. Well, it also uses CARES funds to enable the Kingston Fire Department to develop a mental health co-response team. This will include, I think, a vehicle, as well as training and personnel, so that we can augment what the county does and have some much more specific to Kingston. And there will be zero financial impact from this.
Okay, great. Resolution 132, authorizing the mayor to submit an application to the New York State Environmental Facilities Corporation, grantor name for a wastewater infrastructure engineering planning grant, the amount of $50,000 for the wastewater treatment plant upgrades project, and to execute any and all related documents.
So this one through 137, all of these are, especially for those of you who are new to the council, when the grant department finds a grant that seems to be suitable, needed for the city, they need to get the common council's approval in order to apply for the grant. So that doesn't mean, just if you see whatever cost might be associated with any of these, it doesn't mean that we'll actually be spending that, because number one, we may not actually get the grant. Number two, sometimes there are significant contextual changes, and either we have to renegotiate the grant or we don't accept the grant. That's kind of unusual. But so basically all of these, the ones that say authorizing the mayor, that's authorizing in essence the grants department to put in the application for these. That's through 137. And
So-
then, yes, please.
So do we want to do a block of these tomorrow?
Yeah, I think we can do a block. 137.
You want to make a motion for the Renee, and I'll, look out for that?
Okay,
And Renee, you had something else to say?
well, I just, when we get done with this, the next couple are special ones, so.
Okay,
And they all come back to finance, but if we get the grant. correct?
That's 132 to
So that's-
137, we're just gonna do all as a block.
yeah. So do you need me to read all of those? Everybody good with 132 through 137?
Thumbs up.
If you're okay with it, put your thumb up. Okay, Carl. You're muted.
And your question was?
My question was, on the resolution list, 132 to 137, those are all related to the grants department submitting an application to apply for grants. And so rather than reading them all, they all basically are.
Sorry, thumbs up.
Thank you.
Thumbs up, my apology.
Okay, so we're gonna move down to 138. Resolution 138, endorsing support for RUPCO Inc. for a grant from the Housing Trust and Corporation administered by the New York State Homes and Community Renewal for the New York Main Street Program to support the revitalization, I believe that should say, Broadway Corridor Program.
All right, so this one and 139, again, these folks who are new, these may look a little unusual. These are endorsements from community organizations. Sometimes when community organizations are asking for a grant from a grantor, from some kind of agency or philanthropist, that agency wants to know that the city is supporting the organization. And so the city would simply provide a letter saying, yes, we endorse the program, we think it looks good, and we hope that you will give them the money. So both of these, one is for RUPCO, the other one is for the Radar Center. So there's no financial impact, but these come through the grants department. That's why they're listed with those other grant applications.
Thank you. All right, so with that, we'll move to Resolution 140. Requesting a 2022 budget transfer in the Grants Management Department in the amount of $56,046 for the purchase of specialty rescue equipment.
Oh, I'm sorry. This I think is the one that was this is the CARES funding. We'll pay for the vehicle.
140.
Yeah.
What's this vehicle for?
Mobile mental health.
Oh, okay, this is the vehicle, okay.
Resolution 141, authorizing the mayor to expend funds in the first instance for the city of Kingston Dormitory Authority. I'm sorry, yes?
Going back to 140, I thought that was water rescue equipment or something.
That is water, you're
Okay.
right, Jill, it is. That is water rescue.
Okay.
Well, the problem is that these are not in the same orders.
Oh.
So I
Yeah,
was.
so that's DASNY grant for specialty rescue equipment, especially for water rescue.
Yeah.
Same thing though, it's a zero financial impact.
All right, so when we purchased a motor vehicle?
It's
Water
rescue.
Water rescue, okay.
That's right, thank you, Michelle.
So it's a-
So 41, authorizing the mayor to expend funds in the first instance for the city of Kingston's Dormitory Authority of the State of New York, grant number 24663 in the amount of $56,046 for the purchase of specialty, is this
It was.
rescue equipment and to execute any and all? So are these kind of out of order?
Yeah, that's the problem that I'm having.
Yeah, 41 and 140 seem to be the same thing.
So,
Well, one
Well,
is
one
the
is the-
authorizing the money, the other is the budget transfer.
So,
Okay.
okay.
So it's from the grant.
So 141 should be 140, if you're gonna do it in order, the way it should probably be, right?
Yeah.
Andrea, is that an issue?
To keep it this way,
Yes.
flip-flopped, And I think
140
as
requests
long
a
as
public,
you know what you're voting for,
and then 140 wants to give the mayor the authority to purchase
because
it.
the resolutions are already made.
Okay.
So I would say, I think it should be, I mean, you know what you're voting for.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So if you want to go against one of them,
yeah.
against the earlier one, yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
All right, 142, requesting a 2022 budget transfer in the comptroller's department in the amount of $16,650 to balance the comptroller's office accounts on a year-to-date basis.
You got your impact?
Zero, yeah, that's moving money around in the comptroller's budget, and it comes out to zero usually.
All right.
Resolution 142, requesting a 22 budget transfer from the fund balance in the amount of $1,484,132.11 for the utilization of excess fund balance. Moving that over.
Yeah.
Okay. Resolution 144 is declaring a housing emergency and regulation of rents pursuant to the Emergency Tenant Protection Act. Yes, ma'am.
And this came out of,
This came out of laws and
I do want to
rules.
explain it first, or do you want me to just go into
Go ahead.
because Rita and I talked about this earlier? I found out maybe 3-4 hours ago from court counsel that we actually need to have a public hearing on this before it goes to a vote. So our plan, and we have to call the public hearing, we need 10 days notice. So our plan is to hopefully look at calendars tonight, pick out a date, announce it tomorrow meeting. Hopefully we could do the last week of July so that we could then vote on this in August
okay.
meeting. So it's unfortunate that we couldn't do it tomorrow, but I was told by court counsel that we need to get this public hearing and
We want to do it the right way.
yeah, I would make if we would keep it here, I would make the announcement of what we're doing and why, and then it would just go automatically to August meeting without going back to committee. So have a public hearing, hopefully last week of July, and then have a few days for you guys to sink in everything that you heard, till August 2nd.
Right. And so everybody's aware of what this actually is, right? This declaration? Okay, good. All
If you
right.
have any questions on that, like I said, I just found out a couple hours ago that this has to happen. So I don't know if I'll have the answers, but we could try.
Yes, sir.
Well, I just want to say that I have a lot of constituents in Dutch Village are very keen to have this passed. So I really am very I really hope we can get this done and that we can schedule that date you mentioned promptly and get it done because time is kind of the essence here for some people.
Yeah, if we could actually look at our calendars right now, I mean, we do legally need 10 days notice.
So we
So
don't
that
have,
really pushes us.
I was gonna ask you, we wouldn't have, time to do like a special meeting?
Barbara and I talked about that, but to give 10 days notice, it has to be the last week of July. We could also add in a special council meeting to vote, but it would only be a couple days before our regular scheduled meeting. I
Okay.
mean, if that's what everybody wants, I'm happy to do it. Then we have to find 2 dates in July, that last week of July that could work.
Okay, so,
Yeah, so the 27th, public safety.
Yeah, the 26th is community development, but we haven't been,
yeah, we probably don't have that.
Right.
so.
I mean, we could do, I mean, I imagine that this public hearing will bring people out, so it's not gonna be a quick one, so, yeah, I was thinking either the 25th, I think if I call it tomorrow, that gives us enough notice, or the third, so that's the Monday, or the Thursday. In the public hearing, we don't need a quorum, and it'll be
Okay.
recorded. I'll run it, but, so you guys don't need to be
Right,
there.
we're not, because we don't say anything.
Yeah.
I mean, I would highly recommend that you listen to it, but it'll be recorded,
So
so
the 12th counts as the first day. We do it tomorrow.
we call it tomorrow. Yeah,
That counts as a one-day day.
well,
Because the 25th would be 10 days.
it wouldn't be, yeah, because we have, to by the time we give it to the Freeman,
So,
we can't guarantee that it would go
Yeah.
in. So I guess we're looking at the 28th would be really the earliest, unless we overlap with one of our meetings.
27th and 28th.
Michelle, you want to say something?
I was just gonna say that I'm in favor of our holding the hearing as soon as we can do the notice and then have a special meeting before August.
So if the public hearing would be the 28th, I'm gonna come to you, Carl. The
Yeah.
public hearing would be the 28th, and then
That would be
our council meeting would be, what day is that? The second? The second. So what is that, 3 days?
Yeah, and really, that's a weekend in between, so. Like I said, the only thing that we could do is we could,
I mean, I don't know if waiting, if a day or two is going to make that much of a difference.
yeah, I'll probably just do whatever the majority of the council wants.
So if you could put it out there, why don't you put it out there like you normally do? As far as,
All right, I'll
and
get back.
then we'll go with the majority.
Can you all do that tonight or tomorrow morning? I'll send it out tonight when I get home.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A couple options and we'll just go with majority. All right.
Carl?
I'm fine with that. I just think if we have the special hearing on the 28th, we might as well stick to the regular schedule because a day or three is not going to matter consequentially. So pending what you send me, I would go with the 28th in the standard council meeting.
And actually, just while you're here, I mean, what are your thoughts on Friday's special council meeting?
Are you addressing me?
We gotta do it.
I mean, if we had to.
We've done it before for an emergency. Alright, I'll send out, like maybe 3 options if you could all just get back by late morning tomorrow. And I'll call everything and then I'll announce it at the meeting tomorrow.
Okay.
The council, you guys don't have to do anything. Like, we're not tabling it, we're not sending it back to committee. I'll just explain what's happening. What was that?
We have to vote on a special meeting?
No, I can just call it.
Oh.
Okay, great.
Thank you.
I don't have much, but.
Resolution 145 and 46 and 47 came out of public safety. One is adding no parking to the Railroad Avenue, adding handicap parking on Catherine Street, and adding handicap parking on Green Street. Tony, want to say anything?
Mike was the chair.
Mike, you were the chair, weren't you?
No, it's all kind of self-explanatory, the only concern we had obviously for this one was especially the Green Street, and I believe it was Catherine Street as well, as we're kind of setting a precedence now for businesses to ask for handicap parking spots in front of their locations. Not necessarily a bad thing, but we are setting a precedence for it by allowing it to do it here.
Green Street, it was an employee that.
It was an employee that worked there, yeah, but obviously we can't designate it for the employee.
Right.
Okay,
And Catherine Street was the church.
yes,
Yep.
Okay,
yes.
very good. All right.
Okay, and I have is this the last one I have on my list? The second reading?
Yep, for the second reading.
All right, second reading, local law 2 of 2022. City of Kingston, New York, authorizing the adoption of a new chapter 87 of the Code of the City of Kingston entitled Open Meeting Participation.
Where we are at. Is that part?
Sort of, I mean, we'll still, if we don't have a quorum in person, then people, like right now, since we have a quorum, they don't need close to where they're located. If we didn't have a quorum, then they would need to post.
So I don't remember, but at finance, there was a discussion about funds for we put that on hold.
Yeah, I think they were,
I know we had questions, I just don't remember.
I think they were getting the answers on that before we
We're
were.
retaining.
Yeah.
Is that in regard to somebody submitted a letter about that?
Yeah,
Is that
the
the one?
wall on the property owned by the trust of Hillary Harvey.
Yes,
The Harvey Family Trust.
yeah.
They have to build a wall there, so there's this question about who's gonna pay for it, and it's looking like it might give away.
Mhm.
So,
So what was the session? Was it table?
Well, that's what I'm trying to remember. I think,
I thought it was,
yeah, I think we must have let it go. It's not on the, on here. I'll try to find out.
Elisa, do you remember that one? Elisa, do you remember that retaining wall from finance that was tabled?
We didn't move forward with it.
Okay.
Oh,
So what, I mean, yeah, you didn't move forward, so we just took it off the agenda and it's,
yeah, I
we're
think
not
we were
talking
waiting.
about it anymore?
It was something that the mayor and the building department were working on.
Yeah, I think
And
the-
Barbara needed to get clarification, some more clarification.
Yeah,
Okay.
so maybe on the finance.
Back to old business.
All right, so that concludes our resolution list. Anybody have any questions or comments? Yes, sir.
This is not about what we just talked about, but this is about one of my constituents who has fallen on really hard health times. I want to talk about this a bit and tell you why I'm telling you about this. I know that Tony at the Common Council meetings often talks about people who have passed and such at the end of the session, and this is sort of a variation on that theme. A lot of you know people know Diane Reeder. She has been a wonderful member of this community for many years. She owns the Kingston Candy Bar. Prior to that, she had what was, I forget the name of it, but it was Chiz's Heart Street, and it was, I believe, Section 8, but it also served great food to anybody for free who showed up to eat. She's really been a blessing for the community. And I saw her 2 weeks ago, and she has congestive heart failure that has had her in and out of the hospital on a number of occasions. They have a lot of financial stress. And a friend of hers set up a GoFundMe to raise money to help them get through this very difficult financial time. So I am taking advantage of this platform to say to my colleagues on the Common Council and to the public, if you, it would be you'd be doing a wonderful solid for Diane if you were to make a contribution. And if anybody in our community deserves it, that would be her. Go to the GoFundMe. I have the URL, but it's complicated. So search Diane Reeder, R-E-E-D-E-R, and that will do it for you. Thanks very much for your time. I appreciate your indulgence.
Thank you. Okay, and with that, we are concluded. Motion to adjourn,
Motion.
second,
Does the cat get a vote?
all in favor?
No, that's me.
Okay, we'll see you all tomorrow,
See you tomorrow.
7:30 p.m.
Yeah, be here.
Thank you.
Night, thank you.